Hello everyone, welcome to Affordable Farming in the Philippines. I thought I'd go over, this is kind of my way of kind of sort of catching up on emails. And so they often have questions in them that are pertinent to everyone. So I'm going to be answering a few. And some of these need a much more thorough explanation of the questions they're asking than I feel like writing. So we're going to do it this way. This one's from Jeffrey. Where are you located in the Philippines? We're in kind of in between Hitafi and Taliban on the island of Bohol. Says, I love gardening. I have never been exposed to it as a foreigner. I can't buy land in the Philippines, but can I lease a piece of land to suit my need? Sincerely, Jeff. You can. Yes, you can lease. And I would advise you to have it all drawn up legally. No handwritten agreements. Go to an attorney, spend a few thousand pesos, have them write it up, notarized, all parties. All parties showing their ID and whatnot, and an affidavit of the lessor saying that they have the right to lease it to you. A very common term in the Philippines is 25 years. It's a very common term. And let's face it, for most of us foreigners, 25 years is plenty long enough. It's also fairly common for a 25-year lease with a 25-year option. Now, of course, you can make it any term that you want. 5 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever. 10 years, whatever you're wanting to do. And more often than not, even if you're, look, if you're married to a Filipina, her family's probably going to have some land for you to buy. I think that's the most common way that foreigners end up involved in a purchase here in the Philippines, and that's buying land off their asawa's family. But if there's none of that available, you can always go through a reputable real estate agent, and usually you don't even have to do that. Usually, if her family doesn't have anything for sale, that they know of someone who has property for sale. And all of that is true with a lease as well. Leasing land is very common in the Philippines, very common. People need money and aren't using the land, or even if they are using the land, they need the money more than they need the use of the land, and they'll lease it. I think it's oftentimes a better option for foreigners than buying land. It just depends on your particular situation. So yeah, leasing land is doable here, and in many cases, it's a preferable option than buying. And usually, look, the reason that it's preferable for a lot of foreigners is that, just to use round numbers, you buy a piece of property for 1,000,000 pesos, and you're going to use it till they put dirt over you somewhere. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And you're not going to be using that land anymore. Now, if you're married, of course your wife will inherit. If you have children, they will inherit as well. But if you're just a single guy, or you're with a wife, and you guys cannot or will not have children, a lease would be a good way to go. A property, valued at 1,000,000 pesos, you could probably lease for 25 years for 50 or 100,000 pesos. And you would have full use of that land for the term of the lease. Oftentimes 10% of the value. So that's my take on leasing. All right, here's another one from Kevin. I'm a recent subscriber to your the blog, he says, and really enjoy what you're doing. My girlfriend is from a family of rice farmers in the Martin-AO area of Bohol. You know, honestly, I got to tell you, I have no idea where that is. Marcel might know, but I don't. So seeing all the places you are doing business around Bohol has been enlightening. I am currently living in Washington State, but I am already planning my retirement soon and moving to the Philippines. We are also planning on changing her family's traditional rice farming fields to raise vegetables, tilapia and crayfish, and would appreciate input from someone with your years of experience in farming in the Bohol area. I am not worried about any income from the farm, but my girlfriend and her family will be, and I already understand how important that will be to keep my pension income from disappearing. At this time, I am just reaching out to say hello and welcome any kind of reply. Well, Kevin, this probably wasn't the kind of reply that you were anticipating, but nonetheless, here you go. If you're going, I will, good on you, because rice, raising rice in the Philippines is a tough way to go, because the price of rice it's a world commodity, and it is incredibly hard. While there are rice farmers in the Philippines who make money, they don't make much. If everything goes good, they don't make much, because the price is set on the world stage, and by and large, farmers in the Philippines are still using methods that, by definition, are not going to have high yields. And, that's lack of mechanization, lack of soil prep, crop rotation, that kind of thing. It's just, it is incredibly hard in the Philippines to make good money rice farming, especially because generally the farms are so small. The Philippines government has instituted laws to where technically you can't own more than 5 hectares in the Philippines. And, to compete on the world stage, it requires farms in the hundreds of hectares with mechanization to make decent kind of money. And it's never going to happen in the Philippines. And I think you are on the right track, as I think I'm on the right track, by changing things around to grow vegetables. I can tell you from our experience on our fields that were rice fields and we're now changing over to be fields for growing vegetables. In my experience, the soil is pretty much dead. Anything that you can do, anything and everything that you can do to make that soil better would be to your benefit. Biomatter, fertilization, anything that you can do. If it's clay soil like ours, adding sand, any kind of biomatter to help it break up. I keep, I can never remember. I've been in town several times, but it was either this particular hardware store was closed or I had just forgotten. I'm still gonna get some plaster of Paris and see if it will have the same effect as gypsum, because plaster of Paris is gypsum, but it's been heat treated and it changes the composition of it. I don't know if it's still effective as a soil amendment, but I'm going to be, all I need is like a kilo. If I can just remember to get some, I'm gonna experiment with it. Anything that you can do to make your soil better if you're going to be raising vegetables. And keep in mind that if those fields have had rice farmed on them in the typical fashion that rice is farmed in the Philippines, you're going to need to fertilize the crap out of it to get it to produce. Because generally, because of financial constraints, they just fertilize them just enough to get some kind of a crop off of them. So for years, decades maybe, that has been the only thing grown on that field is rice. And so there's micronutrients that it's lacking. I can almost guarantee that it's lacking nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, all three. You're going to have to invest in making those fields better, just like we are. We've moved tons and tons and tons of rice hulls down into our fields. And with the last pond that we've converted over, we added a lot of sand to it as well. That helps break up the clay soil as well. So, stay tuned, keep watching. I'd love progress reports on how you're doing at some point. We're learning as we go and perfecting our techniques as we go, and are happy to share that with you and everyone else. I've got a comment here from Leslie, or I've got an email here from Leslie. Now this is more of a personal email, and I will respond to this one with an email. But there's one part of this that I wanted to address, and one of the things that Leslie says in this email is that we're not answering, or we're not choosing to read the comments in the live streams anymore. As I've said before, and I'm not sure why it happens, but it does happen, and it happens fairly often. I just don't see a certain percentage of the comments, and I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe there's a word in it that the YouTube algorithm doesn't like, and it's just kicked out. Maybe it's a connection issue. I don't know, but it's like, I don't know, maybe 1 in 50 comments that someone leaves in a live stream I don't see, and it's happened to a lot of people, And all I can say, Leslie, is that I would always respond to any of your comments. You've been a long-time subscriber, and if I saw a comment, I would most definitely respond to it. And that's all I'm going to say on this one. Just everyone keep in mind on the live streams, I'm not ignoring you. The trolls, now they get kicked down the road. But everyone else, look, it's happened to my buddy Tracy. It's happened to my daughter. It's happened to a lot of people. And all I can say is that if you leave a comment that you think should be addressed, and it seems like I'm just ignoring it, well, put it up again, because most likely I just haven't seen it. I would like to make a personal public apology to Blake and Vilma. I don't know how this email was dated June 5th, and I don't know how that I never, well, I didn't star it. I can see, because I usually put the little star on the emails that need responding to. And then I just, when I go into the emails, I just hit all the emails that have a star on them, and know that those are the important ones that I need to get back to. So Blake and Vilma, it says, "Hey Brian, my fiance and I would like to meet you, but I am returning to America soon. It'll have to wait until I get back to the Philippines. We have land near Trinidad, so we are in the province a couple times a month. I like what you are doing. You've been blessed. Hope to catch up with you soon. Take care." I don't. Again, Blake, I don't know how this email got lost in the shuffle. But when you guys are getting ready to come back into the Philippines, absolutely reach out to me. And if you have Messenger, try to find me on Messenger. If not, just send me another email, and I will make absolutely sure to respond just as soon as I get it. I don't know if I ever responded to this one or not. This one's from Steve. "I enjoyed your videos. I'm thinking about doing some farming in the Philippines to support a millionaire that's feeding children. I've been thinking about opening a small chicken farm." I think I did. I think I actually the last time I did an answering email videos, I think I did reference this video. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, I will respond to this email right now, and since I think I'm back to the emails that I've already covered, I'm going to end this one up. So hope I've answered everyone's questions in a thorough manner, and we'll see you again. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.